celebrating a special milestone for Froggy Davey. And let's get Tash Medbury, who's been tied up with the club for many, many years, to tell us a little bit about this champion player. Tash.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Yeah, Froggy Davey, Alwyn Davey, is a twin, of course, with Russell Davey that's out there playing his first game in Premier League for a couple of years. Also, an AFL player, played 100 games with the Essendon Bombers, would light up the MCG, especially against my beloved Collingwood on Anzac Day. Used to run amok out there, and I used to be a little bit caught in between because, of course, I love the Davey family, and his brother, of course, was Aaron Davey as well, played for Melbourne. Exciting players. The family's been involved with the Palmerston Magpies since the North Darwin days. Their dad was a champion, premiership player in Gunny Davey. That's who Alwyn's named after, and it's just important for the family. He's got his nephew out there in Mishai Perry playing, his brother-in-law in Mishai Perry Senior playing as well. So it's a family connection, and it's really important as well that he's playing 150 games. To come back from AFL, Charlie, after playing 100 games at the top level, and then to reach 150 back at the club where you won 2 premierships as a young guy playing Premier League before you actually went down and played AFL. And he done it the hard way. He had to go down to the South Australian Football League, and of course that's where he got drafted from. But a true gentleman and just a lovely guy to talk to.
Palmerston have done a magnificent job with some of their juniors, haven't they? I'm thinking of guys like Matthew Stokes, Trent Henshaw, the Davey boys. To be able to get them off to go off and play football at the AFL level is just something really special. Yeah,
and they all played in that premiership as well, Tully, of course, when Russell Jeffrey was player coach as well back then. And, you know, for them, the experience to play as 16, 17, 18-year-olds and get that premiership was just brilliant. And it's really exciting. I hope the Magpies can get up for him today because he truly deserves it. He's got his boys. He's just taken his boys down. He was missing the last couple of weeks because he had to take his boys down. They're part of the James Hird Academy, and they've started a boarding school down in Melbourne. So he's got twin boys, another 2 boys, and his youngest is a little girl. So he's got 5 children, and it's just important. His mum's here, life member, Lizzie Corrie, of course, and, you know, it's just exciting. He's got his wife, Janelle, and, you know, it's a family club. He makes it that, and to come back and bounce back after, you know, playing AFL, the dramas that went on with the Essendon stuff, he had to sit out of the local competition, I think, for a year, and, you know, he's bounced back really hard.
So that club can put their mind today on playing for Froggy Davey. Forget about the fact it's a pity they don't have that extra little bit
just
there,
that motivation,
incentive, to go on and win a spot in the 5. They're not going to be able to do that because of their inferior percentage. But if they play for him today, what are we going to get from them?
I think they're going to play with a lot of heart as well. And like you said, with it being Froggy's 150th, I think that brings a lot of emotions into the game. He's got his brothers playing. The 3 brothers haven't played together at this level for a very, very long time. So looking forward to seeing how, of course, my coach, Russell Davey, who is also now the president of Palmerston Magpies, we call him the impact player. So he's looking forward to running around out there with these AFL brothers that were absolute stars in the AFL. And it's just good that they come back here, Charlie, and they've never played for another club up here but the Magpies.
They made a special tribute to him, which I saw on Facebook somewhere. It was about a 15-minute tribute, which was just fantastic. Some of the great people that knew him made wonderful comments about him.
You were on it. Joe Watson was on it. Sam Welsh, I think, he's Essendon Premiership teammate. There was just a whole heap. Matty Stokes, Trent Henshaw, RJ, Shannon Motlop, just people all around Australia that appreciate and have played footy with him, understand just what sort of a humble bloke he is and doesn't like the limelight at all. So to actually do an interview with Froggy is pretty hard because he doesn't like to take the limelight, and, you know, he's just what he's done at the club as a player coach with the young guys has been important, but not just that, just the family as well. Russell Davey being the president this year and what we've done at the club, it's just really important, and I really hope that they can get the win for Froggy.
Yeah, gee, I go back to those days of Gunny Davey and Fabian Davey. They weren't brothers. We always thought they were. I think they were cousins, but way back in the 80s, early 80s.
John Stokes played in that era as well, and that's Matty's dad. So it's just to see that the guys that played at that level and then their sons come through and play at the same club and also succeed at AFL level.
All right, terrific. Thanks for that, Tash. Dominic McCormack with us as well. Dom, just a quick comment about Froggy Davey, you've seen him play over the years, of course.
I've seen him play, of course, at this level, but probably more importantly for him at the Essendon level, and been such a terrific player. And then, as Natasha quite rightly said and beautifully summarised, to come back here to where it all started for him. This would be front of mind for him. Family, friends, the Palmerston Magpies. Terrific stuff, and he gets to do it here at Marara Oval today against one of their long-time rivals, of course, the St Mary's Football Club, who they haven't beaten for many, many years, but they have a wonderful opportunity to do so on his milestone game today.
So the game really has not much riding on it except some pride. These two teams will want a win here today, and we expect it'll be a pretty tough encounter. No easy kicks to be got, and so much on the line in terms of respect for the club and respect for your teammates. It's St Mary's and Palmerston earlier today. 12 goals, 7 Tiwi defeated the Darwin Buffaloes. 8-15, 16-point margin to the Tiwi Bombers. Reasonable crowd on hand. Umpire has it in the middle. We're about to get it underway. Dominic McCormack to get us going.
Heath Maloney to line up against Matthew Dennis in the ruck. Maloney goes in hard, 50-50 break, but coming out, the first kick goes to that man, Mr. Davey. Out of the middle, finds Riley Stone. He kicks up towards half forward. Mark dropped there by McMasters. Coming through strongly again, Russell Davey. Number 33 on the back. Handball comes out here to Long. That's Anthony Long. Finds Yaron. Yaron clean bowls Jared Livingstone for St Mary's. Ball almost picked up there by Mishai Perry Jr. Tackles laid. Wilkinson picks up for Saints. Goes to Yaron. There's a wrestle on behind play here. There will be a free kick given. Aaron Davey mixed up there with Denny Musgrove. And the free kick, which way is the free kick going to go?
Umpires having a little chat about it.
They are, and he's going to pull out the book.
And maybe
pulled out.
Well, that might be abusive language, is it? Could it be?
No, I reckon he's reported him for the tussle that they had.
He's gone for striking, I reckon, on Denny Musgrove.
Okay.
So what a start to the game here.
Umpire's having a bit of a chat there, and Denny Musgrove's going to have the free kick directly down in front of us here. We're sitting in the Morris Rioli stand overlooking this beautiful complex here.
I think he was
Marara
happy.
Stadium.
I think Mishai Perry Jr. was taken a little bit high, went in, had his head over the ball, was taken out with a hip, and I don't think his uncle Aaron Davey was quite happy with that.
So umpire taking a long time to put the names in the book. He has to put everybody's names in the book, witnesses and maybe some up in the crowd as well. Denny Musgrove has it. Along the boundary line he goes with the kick. Matty Dennis the target, and the big man reaches up, takes a grab, takes a terrific mark there in front of Braxton Armat. Looks in field, not much in offer, has to go backwards down the line to the 50-metre line. Palmerston look on offer, nothing that they can actually go to. Maloney is there, no, rather not Maloney, that was Nigel Lockyer. And then he goes out wide with a pretty good kick and gives it off to Aaron Davey. Little kick along the boundary line, turns it straight over, and Jacob Long has the mark on the wing.
Jacob Long, ball in hand. There's a poor kick from Aaron Davey. His first real touch. Jacob Long just steps around his opponent beautifully, kicks long inside 50. Off hands. Little handball was targeted at Ben Rioli there, didn't reach him. Tackle laid. Another nice little one coming out there towards Stephen Lambton. Now for the Palmerston Magpies, out to Stone. Mark taken. Looking for a handball there was Davey. Kick out wide here. Talbot in a bit of a wrestle with Yaron. Socket off the ground. Went to a teammate in Emery. Emery, the long bomb in the back, has to be a free kick. And that goes against Woonongmurra there for the Palmerston Magpies, and the free kick down there will go to Jack Long, the key defender for St Mary's. Will it?
They had the numbers there as well, so just a silly free kick to give away.
So St Mary's kick searching out on that far side of the ground, gets Jimmy McMurtry, takes the mark on his chest. Looks back in field. He's going to go back from where it came, back to the goal line. Kicks it and puts it in the hands there of Anthony Long. He'll go to the other side of the ground this time. See if that works a little better for him. Gives it to Nicholas Yaron. Tucked away in the back pocket. In the shadows of the grandstand here. Kick searching upfield. Wanted to try and get it to Jacob Johnson. Didn't. Ball held up there in a big tackle. And they go to ground ball and all. Umpire will come in and ball it up. It was a good tackle laid on there by Jacob Livingston.
Yeah, Riley Stone, the young player, number 1 there for Magpies, is come up from under 18s and did well to hold him up.
Ruck contest now. Maloney wins it forward. Emery runs at it, gathers the footy. Handballs to a teammate in Jesse Marshall. Gets it to Aaron Davey. He's wrapped up in a tackle, drops the footy. He's got the angry pills already, Aaron Davey.
He's got the hit me, tackle me written on his shirt, I reckon.
Needs to just concentrate on playing footy. Don't worry about umpiring. Just get the footy and use it. Saints almost a turnover. The ball now in the hands of Jack Long. Looks for a target downfield in Maloney. Clean bowls him. Goes instead to a teammate in Braxton Ahmad. He wheels around and kicks long before Kyle Emery can get to him. Good mark taken down there for the Palmerston Magpies. Deep in defence. Defence has been good so far. Long kick down the corridor. Target is Dennis. Coming in strongly was Maloney. Ball goes to the back of the pack. Quinn gathers. Handballs to Maloney. Goes inboard to Musgrove. Breaks the tackle. Goes to Wilkinson. Back again now to James Quinn. Kick up. Inside 50, Ben Rioli, lovely handball to Matthias Liddy. Shot on goal is a beauty. That's a great kick from Matthias Liddy. First score on the board for the afternoon. St Mary's 1 straight, 6 Magpies yet to score.
So a good build-up there by St Mary's on centre wing here in front of our commentary box just to get the ball away out of the pack, and Palmerston just got caught ball watching a little bit there, got it into the 50, and Matthias Liddy with a brilliant kick on goal, kicks the goal, and he's a confidence player as well. So to get that goal on the board nice and early is important for St Mary's and most importantly for Matthias Liddy.
And just looking at St Mary's there, their last 5 games, they lost to Tars, lost to Nightcliff, lost to Wanderers, beat Darwin and lost to Southern District. So their form hasn't been good. And Palmerston last 5, a loss to Tiwi, a win over Tars, lost to Darwin, Southern Districts and Nightcliff. So they bring losing form into this match. Matt Dennis working hard in the middle, couldn't get out. Little kick off the ground worked pretty well. Handball across to a running player, kick down inside 50. Bouncing ball there, no one able to get it clear. Umpire blows the whistle, said he had a chance to get rid of it, Wonnangmurra, and he's played the free kick. And it's going to go down there and deep in defence to... who was that down there, Dom?
Robinson.
Zach Robinson. Gets on the right boot, kicks it out wide, searching out there for Maloney. Got away from him, comes up towards the wing. Saints will get there first, pushing the ball out in front, not able to pick it up was Simon Richardson. Charging hard at the footy was Michaelis McMasters. Did real well to win it. Handball gives to Mish Perry, kicks it inside 50. Big mark. Parked underneath the footy was a strong mark. Got some heavy attention. Goes to ground and still lying there. Might have copped one in the head and he'll get up Sam Audio. But gee, copped some heavy attention there from Matt Wilkinson.
Yeah, it was a heavy hit. Sammy Audio been carrying a few injuries of late, so it doesn't look good here.
Gee, and he's coming straight off, Natasha.
McMasters hand passes the ball to Emery, so no, he doesn't look well at all.
What's he done? Is he's
6.5 minutes gone. I don't know if it's his knee or his ankle.
That's a leg injury from that contest. How did that happen?
So here's a shot from a long way out. He's going to miss everything out to the left and maybe just scrape in for a minor score. It's a point. So that's the first score on the board there for Palmerston.
Keeping an eye on this, it could be... It's not a hamstring. It was just as he was pushed and he's landed on the ground awkwardly. But
doesn't look like an ankle test, doesn't it? It does? No?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Well, Saints in a bit of trouble here, to say the least. There's been a turnover in defence. Palmerston have the footy and kick the easiest of goals. Jamani Wonnangmurra, that was just a terrible turnover, and Wonnangmurra puts the score straight on the board. So his first and Palmerston's first for the afternoon. 1 straight goal apiece to Saints and Palmerston. Natasha, that was just a poor effort there. A poor kick came out from Jack Long to Ben Rioli. Ben Rioli wasn't able to pick it up, and Wonnangmurra just stole it away from him and kicked the goal.
Opportunist goal as well for the Magpies. And another interesting factor out here is that Stephen Lampton is playing against his brother. He plays for St Mary's, of course, and Jacob Lampton is playing for Palmerston. So let's see if the brothers match up on each other at any stage, because I tell you what, they're both speed machines.
No Ryan Smith for the St Mary's side. Instead, the ruck work done by Maloney, who got the kick out of the middle. Mark was taken there, cleverly done by Braxton Ahmad. And he goes inside 50. Good kick and a good mark too, taken inside 50. So a chance to have a shot for goals from almost directly out in front. Ball in the hands here of Ryan McMurray.
And Natasha, Charlie, this St Mary's side this afternoon, almost unrecognisable from say 1 or 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Just an incredible turnover of players.
and reflected by their win-loss record.
Absolutely.
They have been rebuilding, and there's no doubt about it. McMurray from a long way out kicks and misses out to the left, comes up with a minor score. So 1 goal, 1. St Mary's leading Palmerston 1 goal, 8 and a bit minutes gone first term.
So important as well, Shannon Rioli is missing from St Mary's, as we said earlier, because he's an influential player with the young guys coming through. And as Dominic said, I mean, it is like the young guns out there. And Ryan Smith playing Div 1 was a surprise as well. But I guess you've got to blood the young fellas, and what's not to lose with the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, what's to gain by putting Ryan Smith in? Nothing, I wouldn't have thought. Sorry, Dom.
That's all right. Aaron Davies brought the ball into play. Mark taken down there by Nigel Locklear Jr. Classy player for the Maggies. And speaking of class, Kyle Emery takes possession on centre wing. Shepherd's coming left, right and centre. Jack Long. Clumsy tackle on Kyle Emery. Wins a free kick, then kicks very poorly inside 50. Charging in was Denny Musgrove. Throwing himself through there too was Russell Davey. Laying a tackle, ball spills, comes to Lambton for the Palmerston Magpies, trying to step his way through the pack, and the kick is cut off, goes to Richardson. Play on was the call from the umpire, must have been not 15. Now comes to Woonungmurra again, steps around inside 50, goes to Lambton, couldn't handle cleanly. Anthony Long goes by hand. Handball is chopped off. Palmerston now have another opportunity. Kick, and the kick goes into the right forward pocket. No mark taken. Right forward pocket, there'll be a boundary throw in as the ball goes over that line. Magpies 117, St Mary's 117, 10 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Earlier today, the Tiwi Bombers by 16 points over the Buffaloes. Here's the throw in. And a good reach from the back, knocks the ball to ground. Chance to get it there by Talbot, didn't get it. Ball left on the ground, almost gathered by Vigona Ross. Didn't get it. Saints trying to get out of defence. Whistle goes for holding the ball.
Good pressure here by the Magpies, Charlie, the Magpie forwards.
So they'll be able to bring this in from outside 50. It's a short kick along the boundary line, and the mark taken just inside the 50-metre line. Not much on offer anywhere downfield. There's going to be a kick and hope, Tash.
It's going to be hard. That's Jacob Lambton out there, Charlie. Can kick a goal, but I reckon it might be just on his distance.
So he's taken a bit of a sighter at it. Will run to 50 along that boundary line on the far side of the ground. Scores level early stages of the match. 11 minutes gone. Lambton's kick gets hold of it. Pretty good looking kick right down to the goal line and touched and through for a minor score. So they put their noses in front. Palmerston, 1 goal 2, plays a goal.
Important kick out here for Jack Long. Just a little bit of pressure put on the defenders here for St Mary's.
So Jack Long's kick goes to Wilkinson. Now looks to kick long and does. That's a great long kick. Looking down there for Braxton Matt. Bull-chested. Got himself in front. Takes the mark. A good one. Kick lets him down. Falls to Camden Vigona Ross. He just hacks away through half forward. Jordan Cullen was behind. Attacking the ball strongly was Ezekiel Frank. His up and under kick out towards centre wing. Is that a mark down there? It sure is. That's a good mark for Palmerston.
Lockyer, I think that is, Nigel.
Lockyer Jr. again. Kicks in board and goes to Alwyn Davey. To Aaron Davey. Lovely chip from him. And goes to and finds Broderick Church. Church wheels around on the right boot. Down towards the goal square. And through for a behind. No real contest down there. No attempt at the mark by Woonungmurra. Pushed his player under the footy and through for a point.
So Jack Long with the kicking in duties, pumps it outside 50. It's a good kick.
Great kick, isn't it?
A really good kick, and the mark taken right out on that far side of the ground there by Saints, and their kick turned over straight into the hands of the running player there in Lockyer. Lost it towards the boundary line. Seen over safely in the end there by Denny Musgrove, and there'll be another boundary line throw in. 12.5 minutes gone, 9 points plays 7.
Both teams are playing a loose defender in their back line, so you've got Aaron Davey and Jack Long at the moment, but Matty Dennis is just moving back, so Jack Long has to pick him up now, but it's important that you make sure that you don't kick it to that loose player in defence.
So a little kick from that boundary line back down towards the wing and rolls out of play yet again for another boundary line thrown. It's not going to be a high quality match, Dom, I don't think.
Doesn't look like it.
It's going to be that sort of, I don't know, scrappy game. But, you know, they've got...
It's a difference of why they're not in the top 5, exactly. Charlie.
Yeah,
I guess you can put it to. And both teams in it each week have such a different change of team list that you can't play set football when you've got so many players coming in and out.
Saints taking the footy away from the ruck contest. Jordan Cullen just pushed away too easily there. Palmerston defence well on top here. Nice little chip kick comes out here to Riley Stone for the Maggies. Kick from Stone is a poor one. Joseph led to the boundary line. He kicked to the boundary line and it's gone out of bounds on the full. So a free kick, turnover here to go to Yarran.
A lot of interchanges going on behind him. Here's Nicholas Yarran directly down in front of us. Pumps it long inside 50. It's a good kick. Punch from the back. Handball here for Palmerston to get out of trouble. They'll kick him up to the wing though, and waiting back there to take the mark was Anthony Long. Short kick from him to the edge of the square. Finds his teammate down there. So Saints looking okay here. Off the boot with the kick. Jeffrey down inside 50. Dropping back. Good strong mark taken back there by Ezekiel Frank.
Cullen's still down and back play here for St Mary's. Doesn't look well.
Geez, Frank has been playing such good footy already early stages of this game, and now a free kick given in defence for Palmerston. Turnover. Good kick again. Speaking of playing well, Riley Stone racking up the possessions in this first quarter. Almost 15 minutes gone. Magpies leading by 2 points, 9-7. Kick down to centre half forward. And another high tackle will be paid here. No advantage, says the umpire.
It's an ankle injury here for Jordan Cullen.
So there goes a key forward for Saints for this game as the ball goes to another key forward, but down the other end, Kyle Emery. The receipt of that, and he takes the mark. 40 from goal on about a 40-degree angle, right of centre, and will kick on goal towards the Michael Long leadership centre end. Natasha Jordan Cullen, yes, coming from the ground.
Doesn't look well at all. He grabbed for that ankle straight away, and I don't reckon we will see him back.
So slowly coming from the ground.
Just signed for Thunder as well, I think, as well.
Oh, true. So Kyle Emery. Over 50, beautiful looking kick at goal, and he knew that was a goal the moment it left his boot, straight through the middle. So the Maggies 2-3-15, leading St Mary's 1-1-7, almost 16 minutes gone in this first quarter.
I'm on the signs here for Saints, Tash, earlier on.
Yeah, I guess again, the backline defence of Palmerston is really working for them with Frank Lockyer down there, and you've got Aaron Davey as well that's just marching the troops around. You've got Sheldon Day and Jamie Damaso, so they pretty strong backline there for Palmerston compared to the forward line for St Mary's, just very inexperienced. And now that Jordan Cullen's come off the ground with that bigger body, there's no one really down there for them to target.
Matt Dennis wins the tap down and went looking for it himself, couldn't pick it up. Saints can get a handball away here. Gave it off to Matthias Liddy, kicked that great goal at the start of this first quarter, kicked it out wide, set a task for his teammate out there running hard towards the boundary line. Jimmy McMurtry can't keep the ball in, went out of play there in front of Sheldon Day. Some of those players from Palmerston that have been around a while, Mish Perry, Alwyn Davey, Sammy Talbot, Kyle Emery, Mishai Perry, Audio, Damaso, Russell Davey, Aaron. So they've had a lot of players that have been around for quite a while.
They've got the experience there, and I guess with St Mary's, they're playing Matthias Liddy on the ball as a big midfielder to go through there and crunch the pack. So they probably need him in the midfield and in the forward line as a target hitter, but it's just you can't play him in both places. So I think the midfield probably is better for him pushing forward.
Ball off hands now at centre wing after the Palmerston Magpies received a free kick at half back. Matthias Liddy involved in that contest, but now a boundary throw in. Matt Dennis running himself into position. Will ruck against Maloney.
Still has to be a medals favourite, I think, Matty Dennis.
From that ruck contest now, Maloney just runs away with the footy after it was thrown in his direction. Oh, good mark. That's an excellent grab taken down there by Frank. He has really started this match well. Long kick out. Goes to a teammate there, Thompson. So Joseph Thompson. Another nice kick from him. Finds Mishai Perry. This is a good build-up here from the Palmerston Magpies. Long kick down centre wing, asking Matt Dennis to run onto it. Just bounces away from him momentarily. Gathers. Kicks well. Finds Kyle Emery. Kyle Emery tries to fox the boundary umpire there, but out of bounds on the full is the call, and Wilkinson will take that for St Mary's.
Poor turnover by Mishai Perry to Matty Dennis. He was in space and probably didn't give the big ruckman a good chance there.
So Wilkinson kick, Ben Rioli there, got it, knocked it on cleverly. Straight to Palmerston though, handball quickly there by Mish Perry, and out further along the boundary line they come. A little kick there, coming in hard from the back. laying a big tackle on there was Wilkinson's giving away the free kick, and Palmerston go with a little chip along the boundary line. They got it off to Sammy Talbot. Talbot takes the mark there in front of Wilkinson. So he's not outside of his scoring distance. He stands outside the 50. He's going to run from about 30, or kick from 35, I reckon.
Yeah, he is, Charlie. Definitely in his distance, but the breeze, it's hard to kick from that pocket here today. He's kicking against the breeze.
Those Westerlies, they're a horror. Here's his kick. It's a pretty good-looking kick. That's a great kick. Sammy Talbot comes up with a beauty.
And, of course, his first game back after being suspended for 2 weeks. Important player for Palmerston Magpies since crossing from Waratahs a couple of seasons ago. But good goal, Sammy Talbot. In these conditions, you can see the flags, Charlie, that are just swirling around everywhere. But to kick it from that pocket at the Michael Long end was a brilliant goal.
Probably favouring St Mary's, if anything, that win 3-3 to 1-1, closing in on quarter time, Palmerston in front.
No, Palmerston doing very well. Seriously, Charlie, as we've gone through that list before, and Natasha talked about experience, and so did you, and this should really be 10-goal plus victory to the Palmerston Magpies. Ball tossed high in the middle. Maloney beaten forward on this occasion by Dennis. Dennis leapt high. Ben Rioli now trying to soccer the ball through midfield. Off hands now goes to Talbot, the last goal kicker. Long kick, dangerous kick down into attacking 50, and that is a good mark taken down there for the Palmerston Magpies. Terrific grab indeed, and well done Raymond Stoddard. Got himself in a good position, shielded the footy well.
I reckon this is his first Premier League game.
It off straight away, goes to Emery, and Emery, that is a lovely kick, and leading straight up the corridor is that Woonungmurra?
Yeah, it is, yep.
So Woonungmurra, he kicked the first goal for the Palmerston Magpies and has an opportunity here to kick his second for the game. Jamani Woonungmurra.
Great name for a footballer, isn't it?
Fantastic. Nice challenging one for the commentary box. Woonungmurra runs very close to the man on the mark, kicks high towards goal, and if you're going to do that, that breeze is going to grab that and just throw it to the right, and that it does. So another point on the board for the Maggies. 3-4-22 plays 1-1-7. We've gone 20 minutes in this first quarter.
Jack Long goes short to Ben Rioli. He goes on a little bit further to Matthias Liddy and back to Ben Rioli. Tried to run forward, couldn't get past the Palmerston player out there. Was held up. Will come back into the corridor with a short kick. It's okay. Jack Long moved up from fullback. He's up towards the defensive 50. Saints playing the short game here. Little chip kick. What's on the wing? Be a short kick? No, it's going to be a long one. This is a kick and hope. St Mary's in front position. High for the footy. Couldn't take the mark. Braxton Armat. Ball went to ground. Gathered pretty well. The smother was superb. Laid on there by none other than Sheldon Day. Terrific smother.
Just the effort there, Charlie, and the young player again, and Stephen Lampton thought he had a little bit more time, but the big fella just dived across, and that was a good smother right in front of our commentary box.
Wasn't quite as aware as he should have been. Boundary throw in, that goes right over the heads of Dennis and Maloney in the ruck. Aaron Davey gathers right on the siren for quarter time, and Maloney getting up a little bit gingerly after that contest. So at quarter time here, the Magpies 3-4-22. St Mary's 1-1-7 after St Mary's kicked the first goal of...
She's flying down to Alice today.
Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm's staying, kids.
Yeah!
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now. Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere. Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now opening Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Game in the end, but it was a missed kick. Yeah, the family.
Well, Des Heinsohn had that kick. He was the ruckman, and he was down at the cemetery end at Gardens Oval, and he chip kicked looking for Ponce Cabillo as the siren was about to go. Couldn't get it to Ponce Cabillo. Siren went, and North Darwin had got their first flag. And then they did the impossible. They finished wooden spooners the following year. They had the longest premiership hangover ever seen in football in the Territory.
Well, that's where RJ, when they then won the premiership after that, when RJ was coaching them, and they won those 2 years, he made sure they were on the training track pretty early. But you know, it's important for the club, and it's good to see that the older guys have come down to support Froggy and his family. And you know, on the other hand, St Mary's can hold their head high as well. There's only 2 goals the difference, really, 3 goals to get in front, and I think St Mary's, with what Brett Renouf's doing and blooding the young guys, that's going to be their advantage next season.
Yeah. So Saints huddle about to break up.
But Dominic's right. You for so long you associate a number to a player at St Mary's, and now you sort of got to look at your team list and think, okay, who's that player?
You look at number 29 and you think McFarlane straight away, you know. And you look at number 4 and you're thinking, who? Iggy
Village. Well, it's funny. I'm glad you just highlighted number 4, actually, because if you look at number 4 now, it's Anthony Long, and I'm rapt to see Anthony Long back playing for Saints, because he was a player who, in that epic grand final between Saints and Wanderers, where Saints won by 2 points, he did his knee in the first 5 minutes of that game, was able to somehow come back on again, but he hasn't played footy since then. He's played the last few games in a row now, and as he's actually starting to play some good football. So terrific to see him out there, terrific to see him playing. I wonder whether he's just out there to make up a number, or whether he's genuinely saying, no, I'm back and I'm going to keep playing, because he is a good footballer.
Yeah. Raph Clark down there as well. He's got an injury.
He does.
And he's out for the...
he's out for the rest of the season.
Any other matches this year.
Of course, Paredes, the number 1 player for Saints, and potentially the number 1 player in the competition. I mean, he's such a great player, out with a broken ankle as a result of last week's match against Southern Districts.
It's going to be interesting, the Nichols medal.
He's got to pick up votes this year, Charlie.
Paredes and Matt Dennis here.
He never picks up votes, but he has to this year. Nate Paredes has just been on fire.
Yep, and it doesn't matter the opposition either.
No, he just works so hard. He'd have no notice of the score or the margin at all. Here's Dom to get us underway, second quarter.
Maloney leaps high, rucked beautifully, got the ball down, but Aaron Davey reading it magnificently. Loses it out here to Gavin Durkay of St Mary's, trying to push it forward. Coming through strongly now, James Quinn from the midfield after a turnover from Alwyn Davey. Kicked it down to forward 50, off hands. Players wrestling around with it. Little handball comes out there to Matthew Jeffrey. Now off to Ben Rioli. Ugly looking kick on goal. Doesn't matter what the kick looks like, it's a goal.
Very important goal, Ben Rioli. I thought he was okay in the first quarter, but he started the second quarter on fire. It took him 30 seconds to kick that goal, so they can kick goals at given opportunities, St Mary's, and it's good that the experienced players as well. Jack Long got up into the midfield and just patted Gavin Durkay on the head as well that got the kick out. So good signs to St Mary's. Started the second quarter early with a goal. Crucial turnover by Froggy Davey in his 150th. You wouldn't be happy with that one,
Not
Froggy.
happy with that at all. He's in the midfield there. 3-4 to 2-1. Umpire's going to slam it into the turf here at the Marara Stadium in Darwin and then makes a fool of me by throwing it up. It was a good throw as well. Little tap down. Davey caught in a big tackle, goes to ground, hit high. Oh, it says holding the ball and the Palmerston supporters are incensed. He returns the ball and Saints going to come away. Ben Rioli draws the free kick. He's just backward of the centre circle. He plays on and then menacingly running at him was Alwyn Davey, but he got the kick inside 50. Saints go down there reaching for the footy was Jacob Long, takes a strong mark. There's a good young player, long, skinny guy with long arms, can take a good strong mark.
Yeah.
A little bit of Darryl White about him.
Yeah, indeed.
I think he's the youngest brother, isn't he, of Jack?
Oh, look, I'm not sure, Tash. I wouldn't.
Too many longs to hazard a guess. Jacob Long from inside 50 booms it along, misses out to the right, and just keeps it inside the behind post. Comes up with a minor score.
The win. I'm pretty sure he's the younger brother of Jack and Ben, that, of course, that is playing at St Kilda.
Right.
Well, they've got some good quality there, that's for sure. And he hasn't looked out of place, Jacob Long, not at all. He's had a few possessions so far, as we see Matt Dennis now, having taken a mark in the back pocket. Kicks long, looking for Riley Stone on centre wing. Perhaps half back there. And couldn't quite handle the footy and out of bounds. So 2.5 minutes in, Saints with the first goal on the board, same as they did in the first quarter. And their scoreboard ticks over slightly. Magpies yet to score in this second quarter. Ruck contest. Dennis wins it convincingly. Belts it away by 30 metres. Running hard at the footy. Anthony Long wrapped up in a tackle. He's gone. I tell you what, the standard has been set. If Alwyn Davey was gone in the last one, Anthony Long absolutely was just then. The kick inboard. Target there was Michaelis McMasters. Missed him. Ben Rioli in there. Ball pushed forward by Alwyn Davey. Tackled by Ben Rioli. Both players go to ground. Ball goes to the back of the pack. Well picked up by Simon Richardson. Good handball from him off there to Matthew Jeffrey, but the kick was poor. The turnover comes and it's flicked out wide to Matthew Dennis.
Dennis with it in front of him, can't pick it up, tapped it back behind him cleverly, did it really well. Palmerston can win the kick forward here, down towards the half-forward line. All St Mary's players here punch towards the boundary line. Hard running at the footy down there was Wonong Murrah. Comes away with the footy. Handball was clever. Gave it to Riley Stone as the whistle went. Too far, says the umpire. Saints draw the free kick. Across the half-back line. Can't go that far.
Just danced around with it too much, and he had Cole Emery on in the 50 as well. Just needed to get rid of it quicker.
Here's Jacob Johnson's kick. Got it past Matty Dennis. Went down looking for it. Couldn't come up with the footy. Again to the hands there of Jamie Damaso. Whistle goes. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Saints win the free kick out on the wing.
Some of the Palmerston players just trying to do a little bit too much with the footy at the moment, as we see another turnover. Comes here to Michaelis McMasters. Can he pick it up? No, he can't. Not yet anyway. Little toe poke. Nice one too. Got it out to Mishai Perry Jr. Handball on was good. Palmerston now looking to get the ball into attack, and this is the man to give it to. Kyle Emery. Good mark just inside 50 in front of Anthony Long. Over near the boundary. Saw him kick a great goal from here a few weeks ago. Oh, he's had a good crack at that from 52 metres out. Misses to the near side. Another point on the board to the Magpies. 3-5-23. St Mary's 2-2-14. We've gone 5 minutes in the second quarter.
Important player as well, Liam McDonald from half-back that delivered that ball to Kyle Emery. Very, very fast and very important
and
to
has
Magpies.
had a good season.
And Jack Long, it's interesting, isn't it? When the ball goes out of play, he stands in the goal square, sends one of his minions off to get it, and bring it back to him and says, here it is, Sir Jack. And he gets it.
That's experience, Charlie. That's experience. And when you're one of the older ones, you can't jump that fence anymore anyway, so you can't get the ball. I put my hand up. I can't do that. I've got to send one of the young girls over as well.
Palmerston have it out of the wing. Short little kick didn't work well. Picked up on the charge there by Liam McDonald. Wins the footy, did really well. Went with the handball back there. Stuck on the boundary line. It's a little kick, searching for the corridor in the middle. Lands it in front of McMasters. McMasters gets clear. Runs down the wing on the far side. Pumps it inside 50. Good kick. A lot of St Mary's players back there. Palmerston win it though. Little handball out of pressure. Rolling kick for goal. Misses out to the left and through for a minor score. Didn't pick up who got that kick there. You might know, Tash, but it was a minor score.
Yeah, I think it was Wanamara.
Now, there's 28 doing his job. That's exactly Robinson to bring back.
And it's good to see Sammy Audio back out there as well for Palmerston, but he's limping, so he definitely has an injury.
So Saints now on the rebound.
Oh, good work.
Nice chain of handballs there. Zach Robinson to Lambton. Lambton into the middle of the ground. Off hands. Nigel Lockyer Jr. gathers and does well. Palmerston defence teaming together beautifully. A nice kick out to Joseph Thompson. He marks that at half back. Down the ground. Lambton against Lambton. Neither of them can win the footy and the ball goes to the back of the pack. Matty Dennis couldn't handle close to the boundary. Boundary throw-in will be the result. Dennis will be in that contest up against Heath Maloney. Right in front of our commentary box here. In the shade of the Morris Rioli grandstand. Dennis wins it, but only as far as Stephen Lambton. Steps inside, his tackle, his kick is the high up and under. Ball hits the ground. Matthias Liddy in a little bit of a wrestle with Mishai Perry Jr. Couldn't get hold of the handle. Ben Rioli does, and then he's taken high. Just positioned his body beautifully there, Ben Rioli. Takes the free kick and will be run down from behind. Just no awareness. And turnover is immediate, and that goes to Joseph Thompson.
That's a brilliant tackle.
Alan Davey would be absolutely thrilled with that tackle on Ben Rioli. The kick down inside 50, big climb at the back, ball landed on the ground, gave a chance there to Mr. Perry. One way and then the other. Caught in the tackle there was Jacob Lambton.
High, I reckon it was a high tackle.
Right. That is the call.
Very, very lucky there, Jacob Lambton.
Liddy was taking off, Matthias Liddy, but it is with Jacob Lambton. Kicks it inside 50. Nice kick. A chance here for Palmerston to have a shot from just outside 50.
Yeah, big chance here, Charlie. Sammy Talbot directly in front. Going to have to kick it from 50, but the breeze is sort of going, favouring him a little bit. He's got to aim to the goalpost closer to the grandstand.
So he booms it from 50.
Lets the wind grab it, and it was touched on the mark.
Touched on the mark and through for a minus.
Perfect kick with these conditions, but touched on the mark.
What an incredible strip Palmerston have too. Who designed that, do we know?
Tanya Parryman.
It's a beauty.
One of our women's players, Charlie. She made the design.
Jack Long to bring the ball back into play. Beautiful kick straight up the middle, which is then dropped by Jared Livingston. He goes back to Jack Long, steps around Sam Audio, kicks long down the corridor. Dennis is there, got a hand to it, streaks away from the pack. Little check side, inside 50, not gathered by Anthony Long, and Audio is hurt again after trying to lay the tackle. Yaron just hacks it off the ground. Broderick Church is there, he picks up, flying shot on goal. And that is out of bounds on the full, and Audio, for the second time in this match, will take himself from the ground again.
Robinson doing his job again, back to Jack Long.
It's either a shoulder or a rib this time, because he tried to get stuck into the St Mary's defender and he's come off worse for wear.
So here's Jack Long in the back pocket. Kicks it out towards this grandstand side. Matt Dennis a long way back. Got his hands on it first, though, and then ran into a player and went to ground. Just couldn't get over the top there of Gavin Durkay. Handball to the middle. Saints on the charge forward here now. Kick forward by McMurray's pretty good down towards the pocket. Strong mark taken down there by Richardson. Got onto the right boot. Went across the face of goals. Tried to get a teammate to run onto it. Nobody did. Clean-up was pretty good work here by Palmerston. Out wide into the hands here of the running Day. Day's kick was terrific. Kick. Got it up towards Lambton. Lambton at defensive 50. Goes searching. His kick was pretty good as well, but the ball was left behind, and they can run forward here. Palmerston under all sorts of pressure. Stoddard nowhere to go. Was caught in the tackle. Went to ground with it. Umpire says play on. Got by Riley Stone. Stone got the kick away. Mark was dropped on that far side of the ground. Saints a chance to clean it up here.
Well done, Russell Davey.
Off the ground. The whistle's gone for a free kick.
Kicking in danger. I thought.
Yeah, Musgrave had his hands on the footy. Very fortunate, perhaps. So a turnover. Players looking exhausted already. Wrapped up in a tackle. And the ball spills here.
Good
Who's
speed.
that? Camden Ross-Vigona. That's not a very good kick in the circumstances. Picked up here by Aaron Davey. Swings it out to Matt Dennis. That is a beautiful kick. Finds the chest of Matt Dennis. He goes by hand to Nigel Lockyer Jr. Gavin Durkay on the chase. Doesn't matter. The kick was great. Surely that was chopping of the arms against Broderick Church. Anthony Long gathers at the fall of the ball. Hands it off to Jacob Johnson. Crashing through there was Davey. That's Russell Davey. Now the kick forward goes towards Kyle Emery, close to the boundary. Boundary beats him. Boundary throw in 25 metres around from the Maggies' goal.
Yeah, good bump by Russell Davey. Probably should have laid the tackle, would have got the free kick, maybe rewarded with holding the ball, but good bump. Good build up here by the Magpies.
And players looking exhausted already.
Unlucky. I thought he had his head taken off in the marking contest, but umpire said play on.
Throw in. Mac Dennis with the backhanded tap down back towards the boundary line. Grabbed in here by Jacob Johnson. Gave the handball away. Under pressure. And the whistle goes as the ball goes out of play. 2 whistles going out there. Out of play, I think, is the call. It is. So around about the 50-metre line, 11-minute mark of the second term. Palmerston leading 25-14. There'll be a boundary line throw in.
St Mary's are doing well here to hold up Palmerston. Palmerston have had the run of play, and St Mary's are just holding him up. Their defensive line here is doing very well.
Handball comes from Dennis, goes to Alwyn Davey, couldn't handle under pressure. Skipping through is Jakin Lambton, does well on the left boot, got his boot to ball, kicked it up towards the goal square, but punched away by Jack Long, and Nicky Aaron did a great job to see the ball out over the boundary line again, and Jack Long goes back to acknowledge that effort.
No, brilliant play here. Jack Long again with his experience. Anthony Long in there as well, but just a defensive work here by St Mary's, and to hold Palmerston out, if they can do it and get the ball down the other end, it's going to be very costly.
Simon Richardson up against Matt Dennis in the ruck contest, did quite well to break even. The handball comes back here to Matt Dennis, high up and under from the quick kick. No mark taken. Nicky Aaron at the back of the pack, tackle without the footy. Nicky Aaron now in hard.
Here's a fix-up free kick.
And a free kick comes for a high tackle. And this will go to Nicky Aaron as we get the ball retrieved from centre wing, and Gavin Durkay picking that up for St Mary's.
A long relay kick back down there to Yaron.
And it's interesting where they actually are playing Nicky Yaron, and he's playing at half back. Very rarely do we see him play there. He's usually in the wing, in the midfield or the forward line. So see how he goes in that position. He's doing well so far.
Kick is a long one. Fist from the back was Aaron Davey towards the boundary line and effectively sees it out of play.
Aaron Davey, of course, comes over from Cairns to play. Lives in Cairns these days. Works over there for the AFL.
Oh, that's right. He plays. And does he coach over there?
Yeah, he does.
He does. So throw in at the 50-metre line here. Palmerston in attack at the 13-minute mark of the second term. Matt Dennis wins it, gets onto that right boot, curls it around. Was hoping he could get it into the hands of Kyle Emery chasing the footy. It stayed in the field of play, or did it?
No,
umpire says no.
The goal umpire actually called that. Well done to the goal umpire. The boundary umpire was a few metres away but couldn't see it, and the goal umpire called it out of bounds.
So deep down in that forward pocket for Palmerston. It's a good throw in. Matt Dennis with a tap over the back was a beauty. Snap kick there by Sam Talbot. Went through for a minus score, did it? Or was it a goal?
Free kick, Charlie. There's a free kick. He got pushed in the back as he kicked the ball, so he's going to have his kick again.
So Talbot will have a shot from directly out in front.
Fortunate Sammy Talbot.
So he's got a goal already. Goal in the first quarter. It's a good return from him to be the first one to come up with a couple of goals.
Got too close to the man on the mark last time he went for goal, so let's see if he can drill this one home.
No problem at all. So he kicks his second goal, and Palmerston take the lead out even further. 4 goals, 7-2-2. 14 minutes gone, second term. 14
minutes to kick their first goal of this quarter. They had to work very, very hard for that goal, the Palmerston Magpies, and St Mary's can hold their heads up high, the defensive group down there, because to withstand Palmerston for the last 13 to 12 minutes was a good effort, and they just couldn't hold them out any longer. But
especially with the breeze and everything. 1
goal each in this quarter. I mean, St Mary's will be happy with the outcome so far.
Yep. Held them to an extent. What will happen across the course of the next 10 minutes, however? Will that be floodgates opening for this quarter? Maloney up high there against Raymond Stoddard. Saints push the ball forward, and holding free kick will be paid here. Aaron Davey not happy. Thought that the free kick should have been his for perhaps dropping the ball against Matthias Liddy, but Liddy will take it in the middle of the ground. Liddy now, players moving for him. Wilkinson is one of them. McMurray, is it? It was. Ben Rioli read it off the hands beautifully. Runs to 50. Wonderful smother there by Day. McMasters will pick up. Delivers further now back to Day. Dropped a mark. Goes back in and regathers. Kicks to a teammate in Jake and Lambton. On the burst, McMasters. Can he gather? No, he can't. Stepping in there well was Zach Robinson. Saints fighting hard for it here at centre wing. The kick and hope will end up in the arms of Wilkinson for St Mary's. Needs to find a target. He kicks long. That's a poor kick. Ben Rioli down there, but Frank is the man. Ben Rioli regathers, handballs away as he's tackled. Handball comes to Aaron Davey, kicks high up and under. Wilkinson goes way too early for St Mary's, gets a hand on it, keeps the ball in front of himself, flicks it out. Camden Ross-Vigona keeps the ball low, goes to Ben Rioli. 40 from goal, 15 metres in from the boundary. Right forward pocket. Maloney says, kick it to me, I'm by myself in the corridor. Ben Rioli says, no problems at all. You're going to lead there, I'll kick it to you.
Oh, just a poor checking there by Palmerston's defensive group. He was there for a million years, screaming for the ball, and no one went to him. And in the end, Ben Rioli had to pass in the ball because no one was going to him and he was in the corridor.
So Heath Maloney, an opportunity here to get the quick answering goal. The ruckman, untidy looking kick. Doesn't matter what it looks like, it's a goal.
That was very, very poor checking. And again, St Mary's, the turnover on centre wing was crucial. There was 2 against 1. Palmerston missed their target. The one which was a St Mary's player, one out, got it forward. It ended up with Ben Rioli. And he looked like he was going to have a ping at the goals, but Maloney was just there begging for the ball, and Palmerston just didn't go near him. It's almost like he didn't put any, deodorant on, and no one wanted to go anywhere near him. It's just a good ruckman's goal as well, Maloney. I thought he's been playing the quarters very, very well in the game. The first quarter, when you're playing against Matty Dennis, if you're getting as much of the ball as what he is, you're having a brilliant game.
He's going to lead you to the ball, isn't he? So from the middle they go. Here's the charge out of the middle. Going forward, Alwyn Davey. Great kick from him. There he is at his very finest. Kick was fantastic into the hands of Mishai Perry. Takes the mark inside 50. So St Mary's not winning the game, but winning the quarter. They've kicked a couple of goals. Palmerston just the one. Ball in the hands here of Mishai Perry.
The senior playing with his son out there as well. Usually Slot sees it training and he's going to pass it off to Broderick Church.
So Broadchurch has it along the boundary line at a tougher angle. Distance been reduced by a significant amount. Kick not beyond him though.
Had a similar kick in play from here, Charlie, and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So see what he can do with this one.
11 points in front. Kicks at goal. Good looking kick off the boot.
He snuck it in.
And he's kicked it through. So they go out to a 17-point lead now on the back of that goal there to Broderick Church.
Celebrated early, Tash. I was waiting for that to hit the post, actually.
The wind got hold of it, didn't it? It just took it in the last few seconds. And Broderick Church, Mishai Perry to Broderick Church. They've done that many times over their careers for Palmerston Magpies. And
yes.
Important goal.
He celebrated. He started, and then you could see him sort of, started to bring the hand down, thinking, have I gone early? And then he went back up again.
I reckon it was millimetres from shaving the back of that post, that goal post.
Well done to Broderick Church, though.
What about the kick from Alwyn Davey out of the middle? Was a beauty, wasn't it?
The tap down again by Matty Dennis.
Yeah.
Wonderful play. Matt Dennis again with the tap down. This time Saints get their noses there. Ryan McMurray hacks it off the ground. There he is, the quarterback, Aaron Davey. Lovely kick out towards half forward. Target down there. Jesse Marshall gathers. Nice little chip from him too. That's a wonderful kick to Kyle Emery. And Kyle Emery is leading Anthony Long a merry dance when Palmerston get on the move.
Another young player as well, Jesse Marshall. So, St Mary's are playing a lot of their young players as well. Palmerston are blooding a few here. Definitely not as many as St Mary's coming through, but it's important to teams that know that they aren't going to make the finals now that give those young players some experience.
Kyle Emery definitely having a shot for goal here. About 15 to 20 metres in from the boundary when he will kick here.
Such a good-looking kick too, Cole
Just
Emery.
beautiful, wonderful style. A little bit of a skip here. Now the kick. Touch straight away. As soon as he kicked the footy, Jack Long punches it straight over the boundary line. Good defensive play, and really, for such an experienced player, as with Sam Talbot, you should not be kicking into the man on the mark, Natasha.
No, especially the distance he goes back to run in, and they're still to get close to the man on the mark. But good work, Anthony Long, on the mark as well. He stood back, knew where the mark was, and come forward at him.
17 points the margin here, close to half-time. Jack Long with the ball on a string in front of him, manages to get it to his left boot, scrambles a kick out towards the boundary line, stays in the field of play.
Well done.
Saints will get there
St. Mary's.
first, just with the little kick, but it was cut off there by Joseph Thompson. And now they'll be able to take it forward, Palmerston. Along the boundary line they go, searching. Kick's not going to be anywhere near good enough. The lead was coming from Jermaine Warringmurra, but didn't get anywhere near him and rolled out of play.
That was a poor turnover, Charlie. They had numbers in the 50, and that's just crucial turnover.
Boundary throw in now, and the umpire is going to call for that to be tossed in again.
The wind's grabbed that.
Good quick decision, and as you say, Natasha, the wind has grabbed that. No disrespect to the boundary umpire. That's very difficult out there to make that work.
Look at the flags.
The flags give you an idea,
Look
don't
at
they?
the flags.
The higher it goes up, look at the wind grab it. It
Grabs
moves
it again.
about 5 metres.
Maloney got himself in front that time, and he had to plant himself in front. Stephen Lambton just needs to pick this up, picked it up, then got caught. He's just not using the ball quickly enough here, Lambton. The turnover, the kick goes to Davey. That's Alwyn Davey. He's tackled. He lets the ball go. No kick. Mishai Perry Jr. gathered. He's pushed it forward inside 50. Coming through strongly there was Raymond Stoddard. Saints here in numbers. This time Lambton gets hold of the ball, kicks it quickly. Coming through the pack. Palmerston. Liam McDonald it was, still scrimmaging around for it, just outside 50. Now Church from 48 metres out, bangs away looking for Mishai Perry, and Jack Long standing tall in defence. Body on body was great work, belts it through for another rush behind.
Yeah, well done, Jack Long.
Jack and the Mish. Jack's kick out's pretty good. Straight into the hands there of Stephen Lambton. Goes back to Jack Long. Gets onto that trusty left boot and spears it out in our direction towards the commentary box up on the wing and rolls out of play directly down in front of us. Almost half-time here. 17 points to margin. Palmerston in front.
Gee, Camden Vergona Ross, a much fitter looking player than what he has been for some years. Good to see him back in Saints colours.
Looking dangerous as well.
Matty Dennis winning that ruck contest easily. Saints gathering the ball at centre wing. Quinn going in hard, so too McDonald. Alwyn Davey just paddling the ball in front of himself, couldn't keep it in. Lambton sees it over. Another boundary throw in, just to the right of our commentary position here in the Morris Rialdi Grandstand. 23 minutes gone in this second quarter. The Magpies leading 5-8-38. St Mary's 3-2-20. Matt
Dennis continuing his work, but it was a pretty good knockdown there by the St Mary's ruckman in Maloney. The siren brings it to an end just on Matt Dennis. Do you know, if you're an umpire out there today and you're looking for a vote, you'd already look at him, wouldn't you? I mean, he just plays such clean footy, gets so much of the footy. Ruck work is just really, really good.
He's so motivating down there for his players as well, Charlie, that it's important that, you know, with the team that probably missing out in the finals in the last couple of weeks, but his leadership, not only on the field but off the field.
She's flying down to Alice today.
Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm staying, kids.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm blue and far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Are you overrun with rubbish and need a skip bin? For easy disposal from your garden cleanup, renovation or spring clean? When you think skip bins, think NTRS. NTRS, your friendly, reliable and local waste disposal company.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors for the 2018-2019 TIO NTFL season. For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
that game. Anything can happen in finals time, but you read out the teams that you just did, Charlie, that they are beaten. Those teams start to then worry when they're going to line up against them.
Of course. They're thinking, well, we hope we don't draw them throughout the final series.
Yeah, that's right. When they keep on producing good results against quality teams, everybody starts looking. And that's exactly what's happening now.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at Tiwi, and there's a bit of the razzle-dazzle about them at the moment. They got some quality footy going.
And you're right with the razzle-dazzle. What about like the little bits of Ross Tungatalum that comes in and
Mary today
turns it on?
You know, that was nearly one of the goals of the season today when he took that mark in the pocket right on the boundary line, played on straight away.
Yeah.
So his vision and awareness to know there was no one in the corridor, no one in the goal square, takes the marks and just plays on with his left and dribbles it through the goals from 30-odd metres away.
Who has the confidence to do that? I mean, who thinks of doing that?
Who could even plan that?
I'm still trying to worry about taking the mark first. And then what do I do after that?
It was just magnificent.
Oh, it was very good to see.
So just remind us in the finals, when the finals start, the top team in the first week gets a break.
Yep.
And then 2 plays 3, 4 plays 5.
Yep. So 4 plays 5 is
the lowest ranked loser goes
4
out.
plays 5 is elimination.
That's elimination.
So at the way that Darwin are going, Darwin have to play, I think, Southern Districts next week.
Right.
Is that correct? Darwin play Southern Districts? I think.
Yes, that'd be
right. I think that's right.
And the last round game.
And Tiwi play St Mary's.
So Tiwi have St Mary's at Tracy Village at 2 o'clock. Nightcliff have Southern Districts at 4 o'clock. Waratahs have Buffs at Gardens at 4.
Waratah play Buffs.
And Palmerston and Wanderers.
I tell you what, the way Darwin are playing at the moment, they will lose another game. They will drop to 4th. They will play Tiwi in an elimination.
Waratahs?
No, Darwin.
Oh.
Darwin will play Tiwi in an elimination.
Don't even mention it.
So it could be today's game repeated. Of course, there'll be some team changes. Let's not forget about that. Darwin could have will have Shillabia, Matt Campbell to come back in. Tiwi will probably tweak their team a bit. Whoa, a couple of weeks' time.
Mate,
wow, it's on.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. Make sure you tune to ABC. Listen to our calls of it. We're looking forward to it.
And I reckon this game's still got a little bit to play out as well, Charlie. I don't think it's in the bag yet for Palmerston. They could have really, put it in the bag during that second quarter, but they've left the gates open for St Mary's here, and anything can happen. I said, with the young guns, St Mary's might have the run.
Tash Medbury, Dominic McCormack and Charlie King at the footy. Here's Dominic to get the second half underway.
Ball tossed high. Matt Dennis up against Maloney. Dennis wins it down. Jack Long playing in midfield. Charges through. Hard at the footy. Saints pick up. Ball comes to Ben Rioli. Snap off the side of the right boot. Matthias Liddy just did not go hard enough at the ball. Could have taken the mark. Now trying to step around an opponent in Talbot. Gets rid of the footy. Finds a teammate. Close to the boundary line, James Quinn looks to handball to Matthias Liddy, who kept on running. Now he's been tackled without the footy. Burrows away empty. Good effort, Matthias Liddy. Beautifully done. Lovely chip to McMurray. Just couldn't take the mark. Charging his way through there was Nigel Lockyer Jr. Finds a teammate in Talbot out on centre wing. Handball's off. Receives it back again on the move. Under pressure from Ben Rioli. Kick went sideways and now a free kick downfield because Ben Rioli tackled Talbot after he had kicked the ball.
So Jake and
Lambton
has it over on that other side of the ground. We'll go along the boundary line with a searching kick wanting Matt Dennis. He was hotly pursued there by Heath Maloney and the ball beat them both out of play.
Poor turnover there, Charlie. Again, Matty Dennis had metres on Maloney there, and again, they just can't hit his chest. So done a little bit of running today, Matty Dennis, and for a big ruckman like that, you really need to reward the hard effort he does and hit him on the chest.
Well, if you're going to kick to the biggest guy on the team, you put it up in the air, don't put it down low. So here he is rucking at the defensive 50. Jumping against Heath Maloney, and the umpire, I think, will ask for that to be thrown in again. And we said, Dominic, I think you said this earlier on, no discredit to the umpires. That strong westerlies blowing into their face.
The westerlies are just stunning at the moment.
It's likely to land back in front of you again. So here's a go. The rucks have had to go forward about four or five steps to get to it. They knock it down. Jack Long, what's he doing up there? Gets to the footy, got it around his body, did pretty well. Kick along the boundary line. Stays in the field of play. Hard run at the footy by McMasters. Got it and left it behind. Saints on the chance to pick it up. Gathered in that time, cleverly done by Nicholas Yaron. Out wide, finishes up in the hands there of Musgroves. Kick up towards the wing. And the mark taken there for Saints. Out on that wing and a little kick forward there. Braxton Armat goes short, gets Yaron. Yaron goes with a searching kick. Further along the wing, punch towards the boundary line. Out of play. Jacob Long got his hands on it, couldn't keep it in play. Boundary line throw in. Good start so far to St Mary's. Just trying to maintain possession of the footy. Let's see what they can do here. Matthias Liddy is looking dangerous around the stoppages. They just need to get the ball into his hands a little bit more often. Good to see him putting in a strong positive effort, Matthias Liddy. Being marked there by Day. Boundary throw in just taken out of the air by Dennis. Kick up through centre wing. Woonungmurra handballs away to Aaron Davey. Couldn't handle close to the boundary line and out of bounds again. Probably need to give that ball a little bit more early than Woonungmurra. Yeah, just held on to it a bit long there. Just a little bit long when Aaron Davey was flying past, but just a split second too long. Boundary throw in again. Dennis up against Maloney. Dennis has been dominant, the bigger man, and he wins out again. Jack Long in the road, however, gathers the footy. Quick kick down through half forward. Tracking it now, Nigel Lockyer Jr. disposes of it well. Finds a teammate, and McDonald has been a very good player this season. Goes now to Damaso. Takes the mark just outside defensive 50. Called now to play on. Will come backwards and go to Nigel Lockyer Jr., who just continued to make space for him. Now plays on, will kick long, the high up and under. Looking here for Frank, camps underneath it for a while under pressure from Wilkinson, but takes the mark. Goes now to Liam McDonald. Gathers the footy, finds Riley Stone, who had a really good start to this game, has been very consistent. Nice kick to Emery, crashed into by Anthony Long, and will take the free kick. In fact, he called it a mark. I don't know how, but he did. Kyle Emery on centre wing, kicks long. Target, no doubt, will be Dennis. Goes to the back of the pack and takes the mark magnificently. Matthew Dennis, good player. And a nice kick to Mishai Perry. Simon Richardson marking up on him, but Mishai Perry, very experienced player, and on the end of a very good kick from Dennis. Yeah, should go back and nail this one, Mishai Perry. Passed it earlier when I thought he probably would have had a shot at goal, but needs to take the responsibility here and get another goal on the board for the Magpies. So Mishai Perry, we're right behind him here. 45-degree angle, will kick from about 48 metres out. Kick on its way, started at left, and you can understand why with the breeze that's blowing, but it just stayed left, straight through for another behind. So the Maggies, they move on to 5, 9, 39, 14 scoring shots. St Mary's 3, 2, 20, 5 scoring shots. Definitely allowed for that breeze, and it didn't pick it up and go with it. Jack Long's short kick into the hands there of Zachariah Robinson, kicks it out towards Nicholas Yaron at defensive 50 alongside the boundary line, grandstand side, pumps it up the centre, up to the wing. Big climb running hard at the footy there was Gavin Durkay, left the football behind him, trying to pick it up for Palmerston was Woonungmurra. Pack comes over the top of it. Ball just stays still in the field of play.
He's done well.
He's done really well. Somehow they kept it back in play. Got it off towards Riley Stone. Little handball across to his teammate who kicked forward, Sam Talbot. Ball left on the ground. Saints come from everywhere. They can't get it clear. On hands and knees, umpire blows the whistle just as Anthony Long got the free kick away. Picks the free kick out and it will go to Anthony Long. So he has it just backward of the wing on the grandstand side. 39 plays 20. Palmerston in front, 6 minutes gone, third term. Kick into the hands here of Livingston. Jared Livingston in front of us. Standing on the mark is Jermaine Woonungmurra. Here's Livingston's kick up towards half forward. Pack underneath it. Dennis there, got his hands on it. Hard running, two Saints come charging through there through Vagona Ross. Down towards the 50-metre line, kick back down to the centre of the ground. Jack Long stands in the way and takes the mark. Jack Long now bombs away long. Kick down there to Ryan McMurray. Just got lost with the way it drifted in the breeze. Charging hard at it is Frank, close to the boundary line. Tries to flick it back, but the ball out of bounds. So transition, one side of the ground very quickly, right across to the other.
And the ball will be thrown in about 75 around from Saints goal face.
They need to set up here, St Mary's. Braxton Armatt's going into the ruck against Day. Just need to get the ball to his small players here.
So the ball falls short. Braxton Armatt wins it down, goes to McMurray, wheels around, tries to drive it in low. No mark taken. Charging in as Dennis. He's everywhere. He's doing everything. Kicks long. Bounces over the head there of Anthony Long. Charging through is Lambton. That's Jake, and he's crashed into by Ben Rioli. Gets him out of the way. Anthony Long went back and did well. Got it away to Ben Rioli. His kick smothered. Richardson overruns it. Hasn't had a great game to date. Little handball comes to Aaron Davey. Steps one way, then the other. And then a beautiful pass to Missai Perry. He then proceeds to drop it. Regathers. Snaps with the right boot. Down towards the goal square. Good wrestle down there. No real talk between the Palmerston Magpie players, and Saints will come out of defence with the footy.
Good handball out to Ben Rioli. Came from Robinson. Kicked it up towards the wing. Good kick too. Mark taken out there. Saints with runners everywhere. Player in the middle had his back turned. That's where the kick was going to go. Saints on the charge now. Down along the wing they go. Ball rolls towards the boundary line. Goes out of play. We're in front of Matt Jeffrey. Just needed to keep it in the field of play.
Quinn there just running too fast and just didn't hit his target. But Broderick Church here, I think he tapped it out of his own teammate's hand that was running towards goal. You don't see that very often, but just no communication there. That would have resulted in a definite goal to the Magpies.
So Heath Maloney here to jump against Matt Dennis. These two been rucking most of the day. They've got some backup ruckmen, have a few minutes at it. Dennis in front position, wins it too. The bigger man got the tap down. Ball goes on the ground. Handball here for Saints. Along the boundary line, Jack Long off the left boot. Spears it inside 50. Set it up for a team to run on. Hard running at the footy. There was Richardson. But it's going to be cleared here now by Palmerston with a kick out to that wing on the other side. Well, not up to the wing, up to the half-back line on that other side of the ground, and they can kick it through the middle. Alwyn Davey on the charge.
Alwyn Davey on the charge has just been dropped to the ground by Anthony Long. Simon Richardson gathered, got it to Anthony Long. Quick handball to Yaron. Yaron now out wide to Gavin Durkay. Dropped the mark he should have taken. Recovers, kicks long. That's a bit of a kick and hope. That didn't help his teammates at all. And the mark taken down there by Nigel Lockyer Jr. Tries to step around Jacob Long, succeeds. Matt Wilkinson crashes into him. Lovely long kick down towards Livingston and Mishai Perry Jr. Ben Rioli stands up strongly in the tackle, taken high by Alwyn Davey, not for the first time today.
No, the number threes have gone at it a bit today.
And Ben Rioli takes that free kick, kicks then to Camden Vigona Ross in space. Saints just need to calm down here a little bit with the footy. There's opportunities opening up. Ben Rioli received it back from Camden Vigona Ross, bombs long at goal, and just touched on the line is the call. Gee, I thought that the defender, Jamie Damaso, was well past the line. Anyway, the point stands as Dennis, from the quick kick in, proceeds to drop the mark, drop it over the boundary line. It'll be a boundary throw in.
Again, they made him work hard to get that ball. You know, he really had to sprint to get that kick close to the boundary line, but unlucky. Probably needed to shepherd the ball through with Ben Rioli's kick on goal.
The Matt Dennis show. He's doing pretty well here. He's got to jump against Braxton Armatt. Jack Long with the win. Handball come by Quinn down into the hands of the running Jeffrey. Jeffrey runs for goal and kicks at goal. I reckon he's got it.
Charlie,
he's run in and he has kicked the goal.
That's the young guns there, Charlie. Braxton Armatt didn't win the ruck against Matty Dennis, but stayed on the ground, did a second effort, got the ball out to another young player. Quinn again with the speed, with the handball over the top, and a good goal to Matthew Jeffrey. That was a really good setup by St Mary's, and the exciting bit that they have to look forward to in the future with these young players.
Yeah, good to see.
They took on the defenders there, the Magpies defenders, and good defenders back there in Nigel Lockyer, Liam McDonald and Izzy Frank. So well done to St Mary's.
So 39 plays 27. 5 goals, 9 plays, 4 goals, 3, 11 and a half minutes gone third term.
That's that leg speed, Charlie, I was talking about with St Mary's.
They're starting to appear.
Matt Dennis wins it down beautifully, straight to Aaron Davey. His kick into forward 50, just over the head of Emery. Mishai Perry gathers, wheels around nicely, kicks to the goal square. That is just lovely play. Finds the chest of Joseph Thompson, and the quick reply should come from his boot.
That was a little bit of class, wasn't it?
Mishai Perry, that just looked wonderful, didn't it?
He could have had a ping at the goals, but no, he's seen Joey Thompson, but he kicked it to where he wanted Thompson to run.
So Thompson now kicks on goal, puts that straight through the middle. The quick reply, well done. He's a good player, Joseph Thompson. And Magpies again just extend that margin. 6-9-45, St Mary's 4-3-27. We've gone 12.5 in the third quarter.
And the difference there with the clearance, Aaron Davey. They put Aaron Davey into the midfield and straight away Matty Dennis taps it down to him and he clears the ball. Look for Kyle Emery, went over the back of him and Mishai Perry kicked it up in a brilliant turn, blind turn, and kicked it just to the advantage of Joey Thompson.
So I'm not sure that score is right now. They've got it right. 6-9 to 4-3 up on the scoreboard. 45 plays, 27. So he is in the middle, isn't he, Davey? It's going to be tapped to him there. He got the hands on it. He knocked it out. He was hoping to get it across to Aaron Davey. Hard run out of the middle to Matthias Liddy. Stolen from him. Hard work there put on by Stoddard. Not getting anywhere with it. Matt Dennis on the charge doing all the hard work. Then turns 360. Got on the right boot. Immaculate kick from him to Aaron Davey. Davey goes along the boundary line. This is good play by Palmerston here. Running forward, Misha Perry Jr. Jack Long on the clean-up. Comes in to spoil the party out. They got to him. He got the handball away at the last second. Nicholas Yaron got to the footy. And now it spills out wide here. Palmerston a chance here. The chance to kick by Broadchurch was charged down. They get another chance though, Palmerston. Kick it out wide along the boundary line. Lands in the hands here of Sam Talbot. Has a shot from goal from a long way out. Misses out to the right. Comes up with nothing.
Burnt a few of his forward teammates there, Sammy Talbot and Jesse Marshall, Broderick Church. Mishai Perry probably would have liked that at the top of the square. As the Mishai Perry, there you go. He's just jumped the fence to get the ball for the umpire.
Because the umpires have a rule, don't they? They don't leave the arena at all.
No.
Nope.
And nor should they. You don't know what's out there.
Good hit with good attack at the ball by both players, Joey Thompson and Anthony Long.
Yeah.
Boundary throw in now. Good one it is too. Maloney wins that down only as far as Damaso. In fact, it's Church. Church weaves his way through, has the shot on goal. Looked fantastic. Kicked a point. 46 plays 27. 14 gone.
Wasting their opportunities here, the Magpies.
Yeah.
10 behinds.
16 scoring shots to 7.
Wow.
And only 3 goals in front.
So they still haven't increased that margin much.
Jack Long, like a meerkat, scanning the horizon, got on his left boot and banged it outside fit. That is an amazing...
That's 80 metres.
80-metre kick. That's an extraordinary kick. And Saints there, can they make some advantage of it? Yes, they can. Little handball along the boundary line. Matt Dennis over the top of the foot. Not Matt Dennis, rather. That's Stoddard over the top of the footy. Couldn't get it.
Good player, Liam McDonald.
McDonald off the right boot. Kicks it inside 50. Was a good kick and the mark taken just inside 50 there. So a long way out from goal, that Broadchurch. Gave the handball away. Shot from directly out in front. Long shot for goal. Is going to go all the way, I reckon.
Emery.
And he's kicked the goal, Emery. Good goal to him too. Kyle Emery gets his second for the match. That was a good goal.
Clever by Broderick Church. Probably knew he didn't have the distance, was right on his distance. Handballed quickly to Cole Emery, who we spoke about earlier. It's a lovely shot on goal and drilled it forward. I thought Jack Long was running back with the fly to the ball. He nearly got his hand to it, but there's not much that he could do.
He just lost where it was, didn't he? He wasn't sure where it was.
And you see the contest out on the wing there with Saints. They had a lot of numbers there, but young players, inexperienced, didn't quite have the pace, didn't have the body size. They just got outworked, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think that's an important goal to the Magpies as well. Just gives that bit of a break. They really need to respond here, St Mary's.
Ball tossed high. Maloney in ruck, wins it down. Running hard at it there. McMurray again, he's worked hard, but classy play. Aaron Davey kicks out wide and finds Jake and Lambton. Such a good user of the footy, Aaron Davey. And now Lambton has found Kyle Emery, the goal kicker.
The work rate of Kyle Emery is brilliant.
Kyle Emery now, long bomb, and why wouldn't you? Down to Matt Dennis, and Anthony Long has just totally lost him in the contest there. Hardly put a fingernail on Matt Dennis as he took that mark. So Dennis, it was a 3-goal margin moments ago. Dennis has an opportunity here to make it a 5-goal ball game.
Can definitely kick this. Got a booming kick, Matty Dennis. Deserves the goal.
Matt Dennis, right of centre, kicking from 40. He's stuck it up very, very high. Jack Long right on the goal line, trying to convince the umpire that he's touched it. The umpire's having nothing of it. Matt Dennis kicks his goal, and the margin now 8-10, 58. St Mary's 4-3, 27, now out to a 31-point margin.
Yeah, just those 3 goals, isn't it? It's going to hurt St Mary's.
1 goal to 3 in this quarter so far. Palmerston's favour, obviously.
I'm not sure that score says 8-9. Is it 8-9 or 8-10?
Yeah, the score on the scoreboard out there is wrong, I reckon.
So we'll go with 8-10 to 4 goals 3. Saints get the tap out of the middle.
Look at that man, Aaron Davey.
Aaron Davies' kick is good. Aaron's got a chance to get to it. Hard running from a long way back there.
That's Russell Davey.
Russell Davey. He couldn't keep it in play.
Charlie, the Palmerston crowd's got right behind him. He hasn't played Premier League in about 3 years. Is now the current Palmerston Magpies president, the women's coach as well. He does it all, does Russell Davey. The impact player, we call him.
They were riding him home then. He just couldn't keep the ball in play. Here's the tap down, and it can go off the boot of Mishai Perry. It was a good kick from him. He tried to get it down towards Alwyn Davey. Some body work being put on here by Palmerston. They got it down where they want it. Here's a kick away by Emery. Emery's going to line up and go for goal and miss it out to the right and come up with a minor score.
When he had Matthew Dennis, the
in the
tallest man on the ground, in the goal square.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt to search for the tallest man.
Up there resting, mind you, as well, poor Matty Dennis.
8-11 to 4-3, Palmerston in front, 19 minutes gone, third term.
Jake and Lambton with ball in hand, and he has turned it over here. Turned it over to Thompson. Thompson kicks out wide, making Mishai Perry with those old hamstrings run towards the boundary. He didn't like it.
He looked back as well. He's just had to jump the fence to get the ball. Mishai Perry a bit earlier, but puts his hand up. It's all right, mate. He's a very positive player, Mishai Perry. Great to have around the club as well.
I've been a terrific player for many years for the Magpies. Boundary throw in. Maloney wins it over to the back, only as far as Dennis. He gathers. Handballs to Mishai Perry. Now has a shot on goal. Pops it up and pops it straight through to Mishai Perry. Well done. He kicks his first for the afternoon. He's been involved in a few. Now got one next to his name. And now this margin really beginning to blow out here. 9-11-65 Palmerston. St Mary's 4-3, 27.
Don't know how many times in Premier League level up here that a father and son have played a number of games together. Not just one, but a number of games now with Mishai Perry Senior and Junior out there. I can't think of
any.
No.
So, and you know, it's in the women's competition as well. There's so many mothers and daughters out there playing.
Isn't that fantastic from a family perspective?
It is
wonderful.
Lovely.
I think we have three mother and daughters out there playing.
20 and a bit minutes gone as the tap by Braxton Armat was pretty good. Knocked out by Saints. Palmerston can go forward here. Ball in the hands here of McMasters. Kicks it inside 50 at the back. Matt Dennis got the hands in the back, gave away the free kick, I reckon. He's had a pretty good game, Matt Dennis, as usual.
Yeah, probably close to still the best on ground out there so far, Charlie.
Saints with the kick to Yaron, just outside defensive 50. Takes the mark in front of Mishai Perry Jr. and then kicks it up towards the edge of the square. And the mark taken there by St Mary's. Little left foot kick was okay into the hands of Gavin Durkay. So Durkay on the wing.
On his mark is Joseph Thompson. Gavin Durkay, what can he do with this? He's been a fairly good player so far. Where he kicks to the back of the pack. Matthias Liddy there by himself, slightly out of position, couldn't take the mark. Fights hard for the footy at ground level. Continues on, lays a good tackle on Ezekiel Frank. Tosses him to one side. Oh, Matt Wilkinson has gone high there. Strong tackle.
Now he's got cramp,
he's given away a free kick there to Michaelis McMasters, and now he's down with cramp. McMasters now kicks the footy well. Stolen by Matthias Liddy. Poor kick by Liddy. Saints here in numbers. Just have to talk to work this out. Goes to Livingston. Nice little handball to Maloney. Pops it on the boot. Kicks the goal. Well done, St Mary's. Oh, no, it's not a goal. It's actually hit the post.
Yeah, it's hit the post.
It's hit the post.
Unlucky for St Mary's, but Matthias Liddy went for the big wind-up to kick it 50. It come off the side of his boot, but fortunate enough it landed in the arms of St Mary's, but unfortunately they couldn't get the goal.
They worked their way through that quite nicely, except for the final execution.
So a rarity as we watch a Palmerston fullback kick the ball in from a minor score.
Oh, that's a kick and a half. Look at that.
What a kick from Lockyer. It was a beauty. Out wide, leading in the race to the ball out there is Denny Musgrove. Gets to it too, gave the handball back. That was stolen by Wonnangmurra. And his kick up towards that half-forward line. Little bounce along the boundary line. Just like a bit of a walk along the beach.
He needs to put his foot down there, Jake and Lambton.
And Lambton's kick's pretty good once Matt Dennis parked under the footy. Got to it though, did pretty well, lost it to the boundary line in the end and out of play. At the almost 23 minutes gone, 65 plays 28. Palmerston in front.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jake and Lambton was actually thinking there. He just took his time. I don't know if he was waiting for Matty Dennis to start leading, but he had a paddock in front of him. He could have probably raced to about 55 and had a ping.
Three-quarter time here at Marara Oval. Contest between the Palmerston Magpies and the St Mary's Footy Club. Palmerston Magpies leading comfortably, 9-10-64. St Mary's 4-3-27.
She's flying down to Alice today.
Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm staying, kids.
Yeah! So we can feel earlier, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more! Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. but we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Final. So now we see Nightcliff in the grand final. Southern Districts plays Tars in a preliminary final. Tash?
Southern Districts.
Southern Districts will win. Dom?
So who was that against?
Southern Districts and Tars in a preliminary final.
Yeah, Southern Districts.
Southern District.
I agree.
So you're saying that the Tars are the dark horses pretty much in the...
Oh, it depends. If you were to put it in like that, then potentially. And I just think it's so hard. I mean, no one knows who the best teams are yet.
Yeah.
Who's actually going to come in for each team.
Yeah.
That's why I think the next game is really important to see.
That's right.
No, next game. Warwick Tars and Southern Districts.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you see how Tars, they're gonna, be up after winning last week against Tiwi that are red hot, that have knocked off these other teams. Southern Districts have had a few losses in the last couple of weeks that were unexpected.
Yep.
And depending on what teams that they do have out there, I think this next game is a really important game to see where both teams are actually at.
Okay. So what you've arrived at is the top two teams will play in the grand final as it is now.
Yeah.
So Nightcliff will play Southern Districts. Southern Districts won the grand final last year. Nightcliff won in 1964. Last time they won a grand final. How do you see a grand final going between the two? Dom?
Southern Districts.
Southern Districts will win it.
Yeah.
Experience?
Southern Districts.
Yep.
Okay.
After last year getting the monkey off their back through the finals, I think that the team that goes in with the biggest pressure in any finals campaign is always Nightcliff.
Okay.
Because they haven't won for so long, and I think they feel that pressure.
Yeah. It is pressure. There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt.
It's not perceived. It is.
No, it's
there is
very
pressure.
much so.
Different players there. They've got Cameron Eilert that, of course, can win a match on his own boot, and Philip Wills that are playing brilliantly as well. But I still think that pressure is enormous.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Second night because of playing.
There we go. We're done and dusted. There goes the rest of the commentating. We're right.
Here we go. The last quarter. 37 points the margin. Palmerston in front. Here's Dominic McCormack.
Up in ruck, Maloney up against Dennis. Dennis just waits for it. Tries to take it out. Maloney taken high as he gets a kick away. No free kick. Richardson took the mark. Handballed onto Anthony Long. That looked terrific.
He's going wrong way.
And he's gone the wrong way, has Anthony Long. He's horrified. And he's passed.
What a kick it was.
It was a magnificent pass straight to Kyle Emery. And Kyle Emery takes the mark dead in front. 25 metres out.
You do not see that very often.
And poor old Anthony Long, he's getting consoled by his teammates.
You usually someone starts screaming at you and it sort of doesn't hit the full forward on the chest.
Kyle Emery led to him as well. It was just terrible.
Unbelievable.
So Emery has an opportunity here to really put a serious nail in the coffin. Kick on its way. That is straight through for a goal. Kyle Emery has his third goal for the game. And even Aaron Davies gone up and patted Anthony Long on the back. But well done to Palmerston. They kicked the first goal within 30 seconds of this last quarter beginning. And they are well on their way to a powerful victory here this afternoon.
Dom, what do you say to a player who's kicked the wrong way with a bullet-like pass? Do you go up to him and say, hey, it happens to all of us? Because if you do, you're lying.
But if you're his teammate or the opposition, it really depends on what team you're playing on. But, I think he surprised everyone there because everyone just stopped and let him burst out of the midfield. But the way Kyle Emery led to him, I think was just smart. He was clever.
He was. Here's a tap out of the middle.
And look who got it, Anthony Long.
Anthony Long pumps it down the other way this time. The kick wasn't anywhere near as effective as the one that went to Palmerston. Down towards that half-forward line, trying to get clear there, Durkay. Couldn't get himself clear, Gavin Durkay. Handball away to Matt Dennis, goes out wide. Tackle over the top, free kick drawn there. It's going to go to Mishai Perry Jr.
Terrible from Wilkinson. That's just so undisciplined.
That's two now.
Just really clumsy.
He's careless, isn't he?
Very careless, Charlie.
So Mishai Perry is going to go short with this kick, and he's made it really difficult for his teammate out there in McDonald along the boundary line. It was taken off him by Jacob Long.
But he's gone and helped and with that bad kick, Mishai Perry. Well done, young fella.
Down towards Riley Stone, couldn't get it. Little throw along in the pathway of a Palmerston player running forward. Now they can win it and go forward. Here's Russell Davey. Got a roar from the crowd. Kick was cut off by Jack Long.
Jack Long has done well across half-back here. Kicks out to the run of Ryan McMurray. He has not stopped trying all afternoon. Kicks across to Camden Vigona Ross. Good leg speed from him. Here's further kick on here to Matthew Jeffrey. Kicked a goal in the third quarter, did Jeffrey. Now pops it up. Gavin Durkay needs to make a contest here. And no contest whatsoever. Matt Dennis just takes the mark in front of him and he allows him just to run on. Kicks long downfield. Looks for and finds Jake and Lambton. Just can't take the mark. Under pressure now from Zach Robinson. Robinson does well. Picks up the footy. Handballs away. Got it to Vigona Ross. Back to Rioli. Back to Vigona Ross. And now a kick up to Gavin Durkay. Dropped the mark he should have taken. In comes Matt Dennis. Palmerston clean up. And Lambton for St Mary's gathers. Goes to Camden Vigona Ross. Now to Gavin Durkay. Called to play on. It wasn't 15. Bombs away towards the goal square.
Oh,
and that's a great mark taken from Liam McDonald for the Palmerston Magpies.
Liam McDonald,
very
what a beauty.
good player.
Just a young player. Gets onto the right boot. Will ship it short. Put it in the pathways there of McMasters. He got some assistance running in there was McDonald. Saints with a handball out to Durkay on the right boot. Pumps it down towards the goal line. Parked in the goal square. Matthias Liddy takes a mark under some pressure, but he got it on his chest. So from point blank range, he's going to kick his second goal, you would have think. Goal in the first quarter. And he goes back and bangs away at goal and pops it through the middle. And he's got his second goal. Matthias Liddy.
Yeah, one of the St Mary's players has been down that whole time. I think he had a bit of a accidental clash with Liam McDonald. Aaron Davies just going over to check on him now. But yeah, he's stayed down there. The trainers are out there showing a bit of concern. He hasn't moved.
Saints player it is. So 10 goals, 11 plays, 5 goals, 4. So more than double the score. The Magpies. You'd predicted this earlier on, didn't you, Dominic, that you'd expected Palmerston to run right away with this?
Oh, yes. With the experience that they've got out there, the way they should be able to move the ball, you'd expect them to win handsomely. And, 21 scoring shots to 9. What's prevented them really has been errant kicking.
Yeah. That's not Yaron, is it?
No.
No.
I think that might be Jacob Long, actually.
I think it's number 1, Jacob Long.
Jacob Long. So the ball back in the middle of the ground. Heath Maloney beaten for it again by Dennis. Flicks it out magnificently. Goes to Talbot. Talbot smashed in a tackle by Anthony Long. I tell you what, that kick, Charlie, it might have gone the wrong way. Might have gone the wrong way from Anthony Long, but it hasn't stopped him from trying. And he's got himself a 50-metre penalty now here too because the ball was not given back to him on the full.
He'd feel somewhat redeemed because he got that kick out of the...
Straight away.
Down the middle. Now he's got a 50 as well.
Yep, we see Jacob Long come to the bench and a little bit of attention to him. The kick now from Anthony Long goes to Matthias Liddy. Didn't get to him on the full. He goes back in and fights hard for it. Almost handballs to himself. Leaps back into the contest again. It's the most intense I've seen Matthias Liddy in any game this season, the way that he's played today.
And he's been positive, hasn't it?
Yeah,
positive
he has.
Signs.
He's won his team a ball up 30 metres out directly in front of goal.
So knocked away. And Saints can have a shot from a long way out.
Maloney.
That looks all right. Maloney, I think, off the left boot, took it out of the ruck, bang, kicked the goal.
That's his second, Charlie.
Yeah, big goal from him. Heath Maloney's got 2 goals.
And being one of their better players as well for St Mary's. Like I said, playing against Matty Dennis, but he can hold his head high because he's played really, really well over 4 quarters. 10
goals, 11 to 6 goals, 4. Saints get a couple.
They're proving me wrong a little bit here, Charlie, and that's a great thing. If they've done anything this season, Saints, even when they've lost, they've run out games.
Remember we saw that 1 quarter that they played a few weeks back? Wasn't that just something?
Some stunning football. So they are capable of it. And one thing that they should be very proud of with their young players is that they haven't not ever stopped trying. So out of the middle now, Matt Dennis is influenced again. Thompson wrapped up in a wonderful tackle, Joseph Thompson. and has to pass the ball back to the umpire. Doesn't waste any time at all. Tosses it straight up in the air. Won by Heath Maloney. First player there will be Riley Stone. Didn't pick it up. Quinn did. Gave a handball off to Livingston. Great handball into the corridor to Simon Richardson. Kicks long down towards goal. Shepherded by Matthias Liddy. But I tell you what, the effort on the line by that player, Sheldon Day. He's not a spectacular player, but he has not stopped at all today.
He was lying on the ground.
That was sensational.
Put his hand out to touch it. Here's the big kick come out to Talbot. Standing on the mark is Jacob Johnson at the defensive 50 up towards Nicholas Yaron. He lost his ground and then he came in hard, ran at Matt Dennis and hung hold to him.
Needs to get rid of this. Oh, thought he dragged that in then.
Put him to ground. It's good work there, Nicholas Yaron. He's getting even on all those times he's been slung away by bigger players. Dennis with the tap down, straight out of play. 10-11 to 6-5. Can I ask you both to have a little think about when you pulled on the Guernsey? You played for Saints at some time, Dom, what it felt like, whether the culture of the club and all that, what it meant to you. And Tash, of course, you with Palmerston, what did it all mean to you when you put that Guernsey on? Here's the kick from Ben Rioli down towards that half-forward line, back towards the boundary line at the 50-metre line now to play.
A lot of tired players out there at the moment, a lot of walking, not much energy left in both teams here. We're only gone 8.5 minutes. Magpies ahead by 30 points.
There's that time when you wipe the sweat off your brow, but you're actually looking at the clock. But you don't want anyone to know.
Boundary throw in. Great tap out to Ben Rioli. Handballs off to Camden Vigona Ross. Shoots on goal. That is one of the classiest goals we've seen in this game. That was magnificent there from St Mary's. And they peg a few back here. Saints move on to 7-5, 47. Palmerston 10-11, 71.
24 points. Well done again, the young guns, along with the experienced Ben Rioli. Jack Long says they come jogging back to the defensive 50 here. So they push forward, and just the talk and the leadership that they're showing out there, along with Matthias Liddy that's been moved to full forward, is just those little changes that Brett Renouf has made that are making just that bit of a difference for St Mary's. Look at the young guns in the midfield here.
3 goals to Saints in this quarter, and trying to run forward again was Nicholas Yaron. Managed to get it down towards the half-forward line. Running hard forward there was Quinn. Gave the handball away. Durkay onto the right boot. Swings away at goal and misses out to the left. Came up with a minor score.
A lot more time, or could have just chipped it to the top of the square. Matthias Liddy, again, probably had the mismatch against Liam McDonald, I think it was at the time.
For a moment there, I thought that was a goal. It was some good play, wasn't it, really?
Just, as you say, Natasha, Gavin Durkay just needs to learn to just settle a little bit, just to settle. Hard thing to do, though, of course, is to up another level of footy. Wonderful kick out now from Aaron Davey to Nigel Lockyer Jr., both of whom have been just excellent this afternoon.
That pass that he did, that took a split second to get to Nigel Lockyer. The penetration Aaron Davey has at those low kicks is just unreal.
Isn't it amazing? Some people can just punch the ball forward like... Do you know what I mean?
He has it beautifully.
And that's, you're not kicking through the ball, you actually kick the ball.
No, you're punching, because a lot of players these days seem to give the ball a lot of height, which allows the defender to get there and get a fist in. But Aaron Davey, you got no chance.
Ruck contest, down to Gavin Durkay, reels off a handball, crashing through was Thompson. Ben Rioli gathers. Another one getting himself through the contest was Ryan McMurray, and now Anthony Long kicks down there towards Matthias Liddy, through for another behind. Saints doing all the attacking at the moment, Natasha.
If he would have got that, that would have been a good outcome for Anthony Long, of course, after we've seen how we started this first quarter. But they're just looking dangerous, and Palmerston have just stopped running.
It's interesting to see a lot of those Saints players, McMurray, Quinn, Gavin Durkay, they're just running hard at the contest. They're actually using the ball by hand really well.
And look at the pressure they're putting on. That's ball.
Should have been. Saints with the kick now down, but no one down in the forward line. And that kick by Matt Jeffrey's been cut off, and then the kick comes straight back out again into the hands there of Lockyer across half back. He'll go short with his kick. Up over the wing. Target intended down there for Samuel Talbot. Pushed it out in the direction of a player running past, and that's McDonald. McDonald gave it off. Kick forward there by Mishai Perry's pretty good. Saints on the charge out of defence. Kick to the middle. Oh, the option was short. They didn't go there. but he got the desired result in the end.
No,
but he had a player running forward there, McMurray.
Charlie, Jack Long has
just belted. Yeah.
Sam Talbot.
Yeah.
Thunder teammates as well.
I know. That was just uncalled for.
So frustration, I think, for some of these
and
players have been around a long time.
The thing was, Charlie, is that St Mary's had the ball.
And Jack Long still got to be in his bonnet. And the little kick over the top from Talbot into the hands here of Liam McDonald. And then he kicks long down towards the half-forward line. 2-on-2 down there. Good strong mark. Handball comes out into the hands there of Jess Marshall. And he straightens it up and puts it straight into the hands there of Jermaine Wonnangmurra. Directly out in front.
Should go back and just take the time. Palmerston, we've sewn up the game here, but this is an important kick. With that replay, it's unlike Jack Long to react like that. So Wonnangmurra already has a goal in the first quarter. Gets close to the man on the mark, didn't he?
Far too close. Swings it off to the left and kicks it through for a minor score.
And we spoke about it earlier, when you're kicking for goal or just in general field play, just getting that close to the man on the mark, you can, go back and take your full measure. There's no need to get that close.
10-12 to 7-7 at the 13-minute mark of the final term.
Jack Long kicking in, finds Anthony Long. He's been a good contributor, Anthony Long. Good to see him back playing and really starting to build some consistency into his game. The Saints now moving the ball. Lambton couldn't take the mark. Quinn comes flying through. Needs to learn how to use his speed and his ball use better. Up towards half forward. No one really wanted to go at it. Jacob Long back on the field, showing a clean pair of heels. Handballs to his own advantage. Now kicks long on goal. Matthias Liddy in good position. Couldn't take the mark. Fighting for it. Gavin Durkay did well. Needs to reel off the handball. Now he does. Goes to Matthias Liddy. Working hard. Paddles the ball in front of himself. Loses control of it. Gavin Durkay down behind play with cramp. And Thompson finally sees it out of bounds for a boundary throw in. 50 away from the Saints goal.
Good work there by Nicholas Yaron and also Gavin Durkay. This option, that this time he gave the better option, which was the hands, but Matthias Liddy just couldn't grab it in one grab.
Throw in deep down in St Mary's forward line. Tap down. So Steve Dennis is off having... Matt Dennis runs off having a little bit of a spell. Here's the kick around the corner. Is going to miss out to the right and go out of bounds on the full.
And again, you've got Matthias Liddy in the goal square. You just pop it to his advantage and give him the one-on-one chance against Day. It's an experience there.
And Wilkinson is normally a fellow who can kick the ball a long way, and yet it's amazing, isn't it, what happens to players? Suddenly the goals are in front of them, and they just don't know what to do.
Matty Dennis is back on now, Charlie, as the clouds are coming over Marara from behind us.
And the lights have been on all this quarter, even when it wasn't cloudy. It's been quite surprising, actually.
Long kick coming out. Handball across here now into the hands of Lambton. Lambton's kick was pretty good towards Kyle Emery on the boundary line. Just confronted there by Braxton Armatt and then got the kick away and kicked it out of play.
No,
a lot of boundary line throw-ins. You wouldn't want to count them today. It'd be up around 50, wouldn't it?
A lot of stoppages, Charlie. A lot of stoppages. And a lot of out of bounds on the full as well.
Jack Long now to bring the ball back into play. His kicking is normally a feature. Goes to Anthony Long, takes the mark. He swings the ball around into the corridor, finds Jacob Lambton. I should say Stephen Lambton. He finds Robinson. Robinson up towards Quinn. Quinn got the hands in the back from the president. And Quinn will take the free kick.
Yeah, whenever he gets near the ball, you can hear the crowd. That's getting around Russie Davey. Mr. President, we call him.
Yeah, fair enough too. So Stephen Lambton making position. Quinn from centre wing now, looking to drive the ball long up towards attacking 50. Durkay flies high and takes the mark of the match. Oh, wow. That's a superb mark.
And he just had cramp a couple of minutes ago. And he's
handballs off to Ben Rioli, runs to 45, kicks on goal, Breeze gathers it, goes through for a goal. What a wonderful piece of play.
And what a great reward, too, for the big mark. Ben Rioli delivers the goal.
Yeah, we don't see them actually come down with them very often. They get pretty high, these guys, but that was a brilliant mark.
8-7-55 St Mary's. Palmerston 10-12 72.
2 goals to Ben Rioli as well, coming from a half-back role that he's been playing today is important goals. He loves kicking a goal, but even better when somebody takes a big grab like that, comes down with cramp straight away and handballs to Ben Rioli.
So Ben Rioli a couple, Matthias Liddy a couple, and Heath Maloney a couple, and singles to Vergona Ross and Matt Jeffrey for St Mary's.
And Charlie, each young player who's on the field today for St Mary's will actually come out of this match and they'll be able to say, I did something positive today.
Yeah, they have indeed. Matt Dennis doing the hard ruck work in the middle there, jumping against Palmerston, but kicked down towards the Palmerston end of the ground, and Mishai Perry didn't get to the ball. Handball come out wide here. Along the boundary line they can go. A little kick forward there by Russell Davey, straight into the hands of the man that they all love, Russell Davey.
Yeah, they're that crowd. They're probably willing on Froggy Davey to try and get him a goal in his 150th as well here.
Samuel Talbot got involved with all of that. Saints trying to knock it out there to the man going past in Nicholas Yaron, but there's too many Palmerston players waiting upfield, and that's where that errant kick went.
McMaster's the one taking the mark. Dennis calling for it, and the kick is poor off the hands there of Jacob Johnson. Kicked forward, however, by Palmerston, and the mark taken by Kyle Emery. Now, Kyle Emery should just steady play here. He's a magnificent kicker of the football. He's 10 metres in from the boundary. Will kick from probably 51.
We're right behind him for a good look at this kick.
And this is with the wind now too, given the side of the ground that he's on. So he will make the distance here, Kyle Emery, if he kicks as he normally does. Notice I gave myself a little get-out-of-jail card there.
If he normally does that.
Kyle Emery right behind him, the number 10 on the back. Kick is on the way. He aims it at the right behind post and nearly hit it.
Again, close to the man on the mark.
Close to the man on the mark. Didn't need to. He's such a beautiful kick of the football, but that goes through for another behind. So the Maggies, 10-13-73, leading Saints 8-7-55.
19 minutes gone last quarter. Jack Long, that trustee left, but that is a magnificent kick up the middle. Fantastic. Gives it to Matt Jeffrey, gets on his bike and hammers it out to the right.
Too.
What a great kick from him. He's got a runner going forward in Jimmy McMurtry. Kick down towards Matthias Liddy, takes a strong mark there in front of Nigel Lockyer. And then he went back searching for his teammate. Didn't quite work for him though. Too many Palmerston players in defence. They can run it out. Short kick up to the middle of the ground. Ben Rioli came from a long way back. Here's Nicholas Yaron. Took his eye off the footy. Not so Ben Rioli. Got the handball away. Got it out towards Maloney.
Here's the president.
A little bit of a rush here. The president got to it. Fell over just when he got to the footy. The crowd was roaring for him. For him. Landed in the hands of Mishai Perry. Chipped it over the top. Palmerston with a little kick inside the 50 now. And the mark taken down there. Well, he's going to play on quickly. Standing in the goal square. And the mark goes to Ezzy Frank, and he takes the mark.
Aaron Davey was the first one to run over to his brother in Russell Davey. Laughing his head off, gave him the high five as he come off of that effort. Russell was running that fast, he fell over. Oh, dear.
And here's Frank from point blank range, kicks a goal and kicks the goal for Palmerston. He gets his first for the match, and Palmerston pushed the lead out a little further.
And remember, Charlie, this is the first time Palmerston have beaten St Mary's in a number of years.
Okay.
I think it's about 8 years, Charlie.
Yeah,
really?
It's been a number of years. So, you know, the mentality around the club coming in here, they knew how long it had been. And, you know, it was a big game to get up for Froggy. But, you know, this definitely wasn't marked in as a win. And so it's really important that they have got this win for Froggy today. But I tell you what, that's a long time between not beating a club.
Gee, 24 points to margin out. So, yeah, he'll be pretty thrilled with what he got from his teammates today, Froggy.
Absolutely.
Davey, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. Ball out of the middle. Anthony Long charging at it after Maloney won the ruck contest. Quinn picked up and handballed off magnificently to Gavin Durkay, who then fell over. Thompson crashed through. So too Aaron Davey. The umpires have put away the whistle. Wilkinson with the snap down towards Matthias Liddy. Almost picking it up there was Jacob Long, and he socketed through, but it's just been touched on the goal line. Well done. Liam McDonald, I think, was the player who got there. And the quick kick out straight away goes to Jesse Marshall at half back.
And Marshall goes searching further upfield once Lambton. Coming hard at him was Nicholas Sharon. He went with the kick though, got it up towards Sam Talbot. He fell over on the boundary line. Assistants came to give him a hand. It didn't work for him though. Saints able to get out of trouble. Handball back to Maloney. And the kick goes down towards that half-forward line. It's going to go out of play on the full. And someone's got to go over the fence to fox the ball. And deciding to do it, Jesse Marshall.
James Quinn in this quarter for St Mary's with his speed. And as you said, once he learns how to use that speed, but he's given the hands at every opportunity, the hand pass to his teammate in the advantage. And he's really, really picked up this last quarter.
Ball now from half-back. Lovely kick. Goes straight there to Matt Dennis. Takes the mark at centre wing. The everywhere man, Matt Dennis. Been magnificent today. Runs off his full measure. Kicks long, and the high flyer, Frank, on the back of Ben Rioli. Couldn't bring it down. Yaron in there. Gets the handball away to Jack Long. Steadies. Handballs to himself. Almost lost it. The player in there now, Jimmy McMurtry. And close to the boundary line, the ball is pushed over for a boundary throw-in. So Palmerston have an opportunity here to put another score on the board.
23 points in front of the 23-minute mark of the final term. 79 plays 56. Umpire to throw this in. Siren imminent. It's going to be a good win here for Palmerston today. They thoroughly deserved it. They had much to play for. And just imagine if they were playing for a spot in the 5 if Tiwi Bombers had been beaten today. Would have been an incredible outcome for them. This kick goes out of bounds on the full.
Especially with them playing Wanderers next week as well.
Yeah.
It's the last 2 weeks that really let them down. So again, another out of bounds on the full.
So pulling on that Palmerston Guernsey, Tash, what did it mean to you? Did you think much about it and the club's culture and so on?
Oh, we talk about it all the time, you know, when you pull on the jumper, just how much pride, and a lot of us bleed black and white. My family, of course, do having connections to the club. And, you know, I tried to start the women's team when the women's competition first started, so it actually took a lot for me to go to Buffaloes and put a Buffalo shirt on, but they were willing to support me starting a women's team. And then a couple of years, 7 years after that, they supported me. So to come out and pull on the black and white jumper, Charlie, was just an absolute dream come true.
Push along the defensive line here by St Mary's with a kick up towards Durkay, went to that big climb again, but he went up and down before acceptances were given. Then he got to it. He cleaned it up pretty well too. He's got 3 St Mary's players down there. If he can get it to them, he can't. McMasters gets it for Palmerston. Got it away. Kick down the middle was okay. Matty Dennis in the way for it. Didn't get it to him. Handball around the corner came from Maloney. Goes out wide. They can go forward here. There's the kick by Wilkinsons. He wants... Matthias Liddy hard at the footy. My goodness, he's a born again tonight, isn't he?
He's really showed his leadership out there. Full credit to Matthias Liddy.
Gee, that was a hard run and a terrific mark under pressure.
It's the most intensity I've seen across 4 quarters in any game this season, Charlie.
Yeah, amazing. We'll stay with him. He's got a couple of goals. He'd love to have 3. He's going to kick from right on 50. He's along the boundary line. He straightens it up. And that kick brings the game to a close. They hug each other in the middle there. There's good feeling amongst these two teams. Matt Dennis getting a pat on the back there as well. But what a great win here to Palmerston today.
Terrific win indeed, Charlie. 11-13-79 to St Mary's. 8-8-56. 23 points, as you say. Quickly go through some goal kickers, and then Natasha with her thoughts on the match, some better players, and perhaps even the ABC 3-2-1, Natasha Medbury, just to put a little bit of pressure on for once. So for the Palmerston Magpies, who have run out this game very nicely, 3 goals to Kyle Emery, 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth, and he could have had more. He really could have. 2 goals to Sam Talbot, 1 in the first and 1 in the second, and then singles to Joseph Thompson, Mishai Perry, Broderick Church, Ezekiel Frank, Matthew Dennis and Jamani Wollongmurra. For St Mary's, 2 goals apiece to Ben Rioli, Matthias Liddy and Heath Maloney, and singles to Camden Vigona Ross and Matthew Jeffrey.